Well, guys, it looks like we're doing this video at my local hobby shop. Welcome back to Innovation RC, guys. Today, I'm at my local hobby shop, RC Boca, after hours, and we're actually going to be using the beautiful workbench in the back. Why? Well, we are going to be maintaining thrust arrow in this video. This is going to be really cool, and I'm going to show you an awesome time lapse of me doing it. Now, if you haven't seen the video, I'll show you some quick highlights right now. Well, because last video, he drag raced a two-wheel drive drag car, and he did do pretty well. Nonetheless, the tire blew out, and we kept running it, and it actually didn't do that bad until the very end. Tire blew out, everything just was all over the place. Now, if you think that's interesting, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe below. We'll have more cool things and how-to videos just like this one, because this is actually going to be pretty cool. Now, without any further ado, guys, let's hop into this. Whoa! Now, clearly, Thrust Arrow is missing something. Obviously, he looks just like a random dragster, but this is pretty much what we all know to give us the thrust. This is the thrust tube with the little EDF inside, as you guys can see. It comes apart in 3 easy bolts, one in the middle, one on the left, and one on the right side. You guys can see the little motor wires coming over there. And this is how it's all going to be set, just like that. So I just removed it over there, very easy, just so we can access where the ESC goes. Where's the ESC? This is a little Castle Mamba X ESC. Although it may be small, it could support up to 6S LiPo, which is kind of crazy. It's also censored, and it's really the whole package in the palm of my hand. Actually less than that, which is pretty cool. This is an awesome ESC just for this kind of application. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I solder and make these beautiful new little extensions that I just made. The last time it actually flipped over in the previous drag race, well, it kind of ripped the EDF up. The mounting bracket was still there, but the ESC was planted down and actually ripped one of the leads out towards the bottom, hurting one of the bullets actually that went in here. I unfortunately already sent the ESC out. I didn't even bother to actually take a picture of it, although I should have. But yeah, so ESC was kind of done. Sent it out for warranty, brand spanking new one, lifetime warranty. Very good, very quick turnaround with Castle. Now I'm going to show you guys right here how to make the little arc as well as making it perfect for this kind of application. All right, so now that we've done our extensions and soldered our main connector, now we have to actually get rid of a couple things on this, just so it can sit properly in the base of thrust arrow. We're actually gonna wanna remove the fan, believe it or not. We really don't need it because it only runs for like 2 to 5 seconds at most. So the ESC doesn't even get that hot in the duration of that time. So less weight, we're gonna remove the fan, less wires, less confusion. Oh, and there we go. Here's our little 30mm fan. We do not need, but I'm still definitely going to keep it. It's still very useful. So now you guys can see the fan was actually taking up about 1/4 inch of space up on top, but now we could actually move the wires down a lot closer to the base of the heatsink, and that's actually where all this is going to go and where it's all going to lean on right here. So we need as much space as possible right there. Number 2, we're also going to want to remove this capacitor bracket over here. This is actually made to also hold in the wire harness, if you guys can see, that holds in over here. We really don't need it. As long as it's in planted, it should be good. Alrighty, now that you see that we have it off, this little bracket looking thing, we actually want to remove the sensor cable because the EDF is sensorless. So we're only using the main 3 wires over here, and that is it. There's no sensor to it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 over here. So that we have our sensor wire out, next up what we want to do is actually pull this out. Now this is not a need of what any of you guys need to do. I'm just doing this mainly just for the cleanliness of the whole build of thrust arrow here. Super duper hard to see, but I have a little poker tool over here. Now this right here is for the fan, and I'm gonna remove it the proper way. So if I ever want to reinstall it, I can. There's a tab over there. We're gonna want to push down and lift up slightly. Now you guys can see. Now we're gonna want to do this one. This is our positive. There we go. Now everything is very, very neat over here, and this is how I will never lose this. In case I ever want to run the fan back with the Mamba X ESC, just goes back in like that. Make sure you don't obviously plug it in with anything. Super clean, everything is still in here. You got to make sure you push the tabs back down so when you put it back into the ESC, it's not going to catch and grab. Now over here we need to acknowledge which way our receiver harness or the ESC harness goes in. So we're going to have our ground all the way out over here. I got to look at this way for a second. Make sure we catch the right pins. Yep, it's just gonna click right in right there. Super easy. Have my little poker tool to make sure we have it in. And now we're just gonna wanna put our little wire harness holder bracket thing back into the ESC so it doesn't fly out while we are actually on the move. Super clean, super nice, very simple. We have our on-off switch, and we also have our ESC receiver connection right over there. Now our ESC is all done. Woo! Alright, now time to install this beautiful ESC into thrust arrow, additionally with the thrust tube and EDF. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. This is how it's going to drop in, just like this. Battery is over here, obviously towards the back. That's where these leads are coming out from. The reason why we made the arc over here is so that it would naturally want to go this way underneath where the thrust tube is going to go. Now I'm going to explain that. Now, time for the installation. You guys ready? We're done. That's it. ESC's in. That's literally it. Now we want to route the wires over here. Switch is going to go on that side. Thrust tube, there's going to be a hole on the left side, right side, and additionally all the way through the tube over here so that it holds from the front, not only the sides. So now we're also going to install this. Attach the motor leads first. Got 1, 2, and number 3. You guys can see right over here where this hole goes, it just fits beautifully, rests right on there. And we are going to want 2.5mm driver going into this 4mm bolt. I'm gonna screw it in on this side. That's done. Very nice. I'm really happy it all just lines up. Nice and tight. This is some really good quality 3D printing. Now, if you guys don't know our house, he's the one who actually built the thrust tubes for me a few years back. TwinTurbo had 2 of these, and it's actually from RC Physics. If you guys don't know our house, who owns RC Physics, make sure you check his channel out. His channel's right up there. Make sure you click on it. Now, time for the last bolt that's gonna hold in the front of this thrust tube. Oh my God, the tripod almost fell. Okay, in just like that. And look at that. Ammo, awesome. It's not going anywhere. All right, now time to mount the switch. What I like to use to clean anything, to mount any kind of switch or ESC, I always hit it with Nitro Force. It's kind of like brake clean, except it is very, very easy on plastic, so it's not going to eat away like normal conventional brake clean would. Also going to want to do it on here, whichever side I use. It's not going to matter, it's clean either way. And what I'm going to want to do, if you guys could see the tension, it's not too tight, but it's going to be just enough. And I'm just going to put it right over here. Just enough so it clears the chassis, and it's also never going to be permanent. I can still pop it off whenever. Take a little bit of glue, pop it on. You're going to want to let it sit for a couple seconds. Couple as in like 6 or 8 and 10. Done. Now our little baby switch is all mounted. That is just too easy. Now our ESC wire is going to go into this extra little extension right over here. Make sure it's in. It's going to go into channel 2 of our Futaba receiver. And as for cleanliness, I am definitely getting rid of this extra little wire because I do not use it with the extra little Futaba connector. I don't recommend cutting it off unless if you're going to use it or anything, but I never use this. So. And now if we look over here, you guys notice that the little receiver wires, both of them are kind of janky. We need to put them back in. Very easy when doing with foam. What we're gonna do, I'm actually just gonna put one on each side here. This is one, gonna hold. This is gonna be the other side, and we're just gonna squeeze them in there just like this, and we're gonna lock them down in place. So not only is it gonna hold the receiver in a little bit better, it's also gonna hold the little antennae in place as well. Make sure they're also down so they stick up. Very nice, and they're not gonna go anywhere. Perfect. Alrighty guys, finally, my time, it's been about an hour and a half. We are finally gonna power Thrust Arrow on for the first time, first ever rebuild on Thrust Arrow. Hopefully everything goes well. On button. Here's a throttle. Nice. It's the wind's actually blowing in the correct direction. You guys can see that little bag of tires move. And the torque of this EDF just absolutely wants to twist this whole chassis apart. Just look at it. Oh my goodness, it's getting all the way in the back. It wants to come off. Uh-oh, yeah, let's not. You know what, actually, I'll leave that in the video just to show how stupid this thing really is. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit that out. Yeah, guys. In all reality, I want to test out the brakes. So, half power. See everything in the back move. Brake, but obviously that's not the brakes. I need to make sure that the fan blades are at a complete stop before I throw the motor in reverse. If I do it instantly, it's actually going to hurt the EDF. So that's why I actually need to brake enough just so the fan could stop, and then we hit reverse. So here we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. Yeah, that's my little notepad. We have reverse and a tipped over thrust car. That is absolutely crazy, guys. All right, so we're just gonna test out Thrust Arrow real quick. Here's our reverse. Nice. And there's our brakes. There's our reverse. Oh my god, that was so close. That is crazy, but it stopped itself before it hit the door. That was actually pretty intense. I don't want this thing to hit a door. Alrighty, so we just proved that Thrust Arrow is all operational once again. I'm pretty happy that everything today went pretty swell and well, because next video we're gonna try to make him fly. Yeah, one guy actually told me, hey, you should try to make him fly. Does he have enough thrust to actually take off going up? We're about to find out. That's actually also another reason of this video that I wanted to do today. Make sure everything's actually in tip-top order and shape. But make sure you hit that like button and subscribe below. All right, so we're pretty much done here, guys. As always, make sure you stay safe and have a good one.